Hey guys, that one guy here, and we're gonna go through Chapter 3, Mission 1, and this is going to be featuring Starscream as the mission boss, and a lot of people have been having a lot of difficulty with him. Of course, that is mainly due with the range mod that he has, and of course the 20% melee evade, which is honestly one of the most troublesome mods that Kabam likes to put in. I'm going to be going down the shock block path. That's also very annoying. Actually, all those three mods are really annoying. But yeah, hopefully you'll get to see how I tackle these mods. Yeah, I just want to take a little moment to talk about Megatronus, as I'm going to be releasing that video tomorrow. I actually had 3 or 4 attempts before I was able to finish him off without using any items. I think I used just the level 1 boost, but like those hardly do anything to take him down. The video is going to be like roughly 30 minutes long, but you get to see all my failed attempts and my actual successful attempt. And surprisingly, Windblade of all boss was able to really chunk him down in the most annoying stage, in my honest opinion, which happens to be the Relic of Chaos, because that thing just obliterates your health. Even if you get caught by Megatronus during the time that he's unleashing his combo on you, you're still dead. There is like no way to avoid it. And a lot of people have also been saying Megatronus past I think second stage, I'm not too sure, when he is like down below 80% or 90% health, he has a tendency to just withhold his energy bar. Yeah, it was annoying. There's a way to get around it. I forgot exactly what it was, but I just kept on using my heavy to bait it out somehow. You'll get to see that tomorrow. And a lot of people have been complaining about that, saying that it's just Kabam trying to screw with people, enticing them to use money. Personally, I kind of disagree with that. I think that, you know, given how the spotlight is set up, especially with the last mission, and seeing how you know, they've given out better rewards with it being the tier 3, like 5,000 essence worth of tier 3 alpha, which is like a huge deal. And given the difficulty that Megatronus is supposed to bring, I think that's completely within reason. Yeah, and personally, with regards to the spotlight, I really think that it's definitely the most enjoyable spotlight I've ever played that Kabam has released thus far, simply because it really breaks away from the old tiring formula that they had, where, you know, whenever a feature bot was being released, it was the same formula. He lands on Quintessa, and whichever it is, like an Autobot or a Decepticon, the team is going to go out and find him, and along the way you get like an array of mini bosses that you encounter in various missions. You take those guys down, and then for whatever reason you pummel the featured bot, and hooray, you know, that's the story. You know, the commander and his team, they did it. And it was just so bland, so vanilla. With this one, they changed everything up. I really enjoyed it, actually, with regards to the story and how it was set up. It was a nice change of pace. Now, another concern that people are having is that they believe that with this spotlight mission and with the release of Megatronus and a few other things, this kind of like signals this might be the coming end for Forged to Fight. Personally, I don't think that is the case. Well, let's tackle the issues one at a time. With the release of the Tier 3 alphas that were being put out in deals, coming in back to back, people are saying it's been released way too soon or way too early. I don't think that's the case, because the same thing happened when the Tier 3 basics were actually released. And if you take a close look at when these rare items, or these rare resource items are released, they are all actually pretty much within the same time frame. And remember, this game is still not 2 years old. It's like a year and a half. So, you know, we had the Tier 1 alphas, Tier 2 alphas, Tier 3 basics, so on and so forth. All these getting released within not even 2 years. And yeah, it really falls within the same time frame. And you know, this doesn't mean that Kabam is really rushing things. The only thing Kabam is rushing is the development of the game, the development cycle, where they're pushing their plans forward because of the backlash of 7.0. Now, their outrage against 7.0 was totally justifiable, because that patch was an insult to the player base, because there really hasn't been that much content released at all, despite the cries and the absolute hope for 7.0 being something to keep the players. I feel that you know, Kabam is, you know, pushing things forward with how the game is progressing, and we saw that definitely with the release of Megatronus and the following spotlights. So yeah, I think the game is in a relatively okay position, especially with, you know, especially with how people are reacting to certain events that are popping up. The OG, the Alliance mission, the Alliance event for OG Optimus, the 5-star one, where the top 3 alliances get it. Participating alliances, they can get it after, you know, completing however many hex crystals that they had to open. Yeah, like these sort of events and additions to the game clearly shows that there is a lot of interest, and the game is not, you know, anywhere close to dying or being on its heels. People could argue that, you know, the game is lacking content, with, you know, some things are just being very repetitive and tiresome, and people have every right to complain about that. But it shows that Kabam is trying. Hopefully we'll get that Act 4 released soon. Hopefully raids will get revamped, because, man, I don't think anybody has time to play raids. It's just such a silly grind. I just like, there's nothing rewarding that comes out of it aside from raid chips that you can use to go at the raid store. It's just like balancing all of that, like balancing raiding, spotlight missions, alliance missions, and an arena to top it off. Arenas I barely even play anymore, because in order for you to get into a decent bracket, you have to put in a few million points, and personally I don't have the time for that. I just do like the bare minimum sometimes. I don't even like, I sometimes just forego it completely because I just don't have time, nor do I have the interest in just tackling that. But yeah, hopefully Kabam does something with regards to those game modes. They add something they add Act 4 at some point in the future. And by the way, I'm so sorry you guys are seeing this ad. It's just a combination of me being very lazy, And yeah, I just really want to talk about this ad. Wow, this game is so stupid. Why is there a soldier there with a freaking gun in a fantasy game? Like, why? Anyway, sorry, little rant right there. But yeah, so those are my two cents, my thoughts with regards to the future of this game, how things are progressing along. Well, yeah, and I really hope Kabam does something about the Alliance mission rewards, because that's yeah, we're getting better rewards from Spotlight missions as opposed to Alliance missions being the one that should be granting better rewards because of the amount of time sink, and sometimes people spend a lot of money to purchase items to, you know, carry themselves. But yeah, for now getting back to the topic of this gameplay footage. Yeah, so Starscream, he's an annoying one. Thankfully, I was very lucky with how Windblade was able to not like she didn't seem to activate his evade all too much. I was very lucky about that because she was able to put her in a few combos, like full combos, throughout various parts of the clip. But one advice that I can give is with regards to the range mod, swipe more than once. Do not swipe, like when I'm saying swipe, I mean you know, sidestepping up and down. do it more than once, because if you sidestep once, that range shot is going to follow you and it's going to hit you on the second on the second or third shot. So it's always a good idea to keep swiping up and down. Another thing, if you see Starscream you know, going up and down, make sure you continue to keep swiping despite the distance that's being closed in, because those range hits are still going to hit you somehow. Yeah, and then with regards to the range mod, what you can do is, as soon as you see the evade, the green evade status popping up, do not continue to tapping attack. Swipe back, let the fight reset, and try to use your range shots to follow up with like to find an opening and follow up with how many other melee hits that you need to hit him with. And of course, let Starscream be the one to make an opening for you, so you don't trigger shock block as much as possible. Those things, they hurt. And in this video, you get to see all kinds of shenanigans. Yeah, Shockwave doing my play of Shockwave being bad. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good one. Cheers now.